Good morning. I decided to go on today just for a little bit to keep in touch with all my viewers and to, just say thank you for tuning in on Sunday. It was a great talk with Crime and Coffee, and we'd like to thank her for taking the time to talk to us about the Adelson case. And what a ride it has been, indeed. And boy, no one expected what happened. There's a lot of expectations out there. There's a lot of, there's a lot of speculation out there, I should say. And there's a lot of streamers out there that have wonderful, wonderful information on what went on. And I encourage you to dive in and listen to that. Anyway, what I really want to say about the whole thing is I don't want to do any name calling or bashing the attorneys or the prosecutors or anything like that. But there's a lot of mistakes that have been made, and there are also a lot of devious behavior, I should say. My plans to go forward is to go on at least once a week to keep in touch, talk about the trials that we are all following, and just have a coffee chat. That is my plan for an attack. Sorry, I have my photo on here. I'm not really camera ready. Hi, how you doing? I'm so glad you came on. So what I'm just doing right now is just doing a recap. You know what? I'm going to put myself on. Who cares if I don't have makeup? All right, here I am, raw. Yeah, just kind of regrouping. And, oh yeah, so I put myself off camera ready. Nobody is here. Maybe I should just stop the camera. Okay. I scare everyone. Anyway, yeah, just a regroup. You don't know the latest what happened about the trial with Donna Adelson, Mommy? Oh, well, let me see if I can find a video. Let's do that. To those who don't know what's going on, I'm sorry. I just thought since it was like big news. All right, just a minute. I am going to put myself on a stop my camera, and I'll be just at the conflict of interest. Maybe it'd be a good idea for me to go ahead and play this again. Give me a few minutes here and let me find that. There's tons of video out there. Lots of people are talking about it. All right. This might be a good one. Okay, just give me a few minutes here. I am going to put on this, and I am going to put it on pause for a second, and I will be here in just a little bit so we can watch this together. And by the way, but Mommy, thank you for being so dedicated with me, and we have a lot of fun. Okay, well, let me share. Present. Let me share a screen. All right, I'm going to share a screen. Okay. Now I'm going to go in here and...
We continue forward.
Yes, Judge. May I approach the left here?
You may.
So, Judge, with the
Welcome back to Court TV Live, along with Julie Janae and Ted Rollins. We'll head back to the Carly Gregg trial in Mississippi in just a minute, but we have some break.
I'm sorry. I'm not a pro at this. I found a perfect one, and what do? I got rid of it. All right. The title of the video I'm going to show is called Donna Adelson's Murder Trial Delayed After Attorney Resigns. I think this would be a very good one. Okay. I am going to share it.
His attorney is also his mother's current attorney. Let's go into the courtroom and see how it unfolds.
I know.
We continue forward.
Yes, Judge. May I approach the lectern?
You may.
Here we go.
So, Judge, with the surprise issues of the last couple of days, I have asked for my prior client's waiver again. And with the change of circumstances, he has decided not to give it. So let me be clear. I have a waiver in the past. It's from December 12th, December 13th. And an independent lawyer spoke to him as well, although did not get a signature on the waiver. So we had a waiver. We thought we had a waiver. We didn't think there was an issue. But given the events of the last 2 days, I approached appellate counsel to get a new waiver. I thought that was the right thing to do, obviously, and the cleanest thing to do. And I am not able to obtain that waiver at this point. So as a result, I need to withdraw from the case.
Very well. Does the state wish to be heard concerning the withdrawal of counsel?
I don't think I have anything appropriate to say on the matter, Judge. If Your Honor,
Well
what
put.
we need to do, we would like to proceed, and I'd ask Your Honor to inquire whether we can proceed with second chair representing Ms. Adelson, but obviously we're ready for trial and there's a lot at stake.
Mr. Morris, are you prepared to move through this trial without Mr. Rauschbaum?
Judge, I tried to think about all of the different potential rabbit trails. I mean, the short answer is I do not believe that I am going to be able to be adequately prepared to proceed forward with the present calendar, primarily because of the division of labor in the case. I would move to continue for a brief period of time. That's also, in speaking with Mr. Offerman, which is an issue that I'm going to request that we address, the objection by Mr. Adelson would still pertain to my cross-examination, and by extension, the third party would conduct cross-examination. In short, I need time to regroup.
Before we finish today, I will have the in-camera hearing review concerning whether you have been properly walled off. As to the withdrawal of lead counsel, I am going to permit it. The conflict issues are so severe, I believe, to move forward with the trial. Ms. Kappelman, Ms. Dugan would place us in a position where we would end up in a reversal. Let's go ahead and set a case management date. As to all the expense that has been undertaken with moving witnesses and preparing for trial, the state certainly, as a part of any cost of prosecution, if you are successful, may seek those costs as it relates to today, as this continuance will be charged to the defendant. As to a new date, when would the parties like to have a case management?
I think as soon as possible, Judge. I'm prepared to brainstorm with Ms. Kappelman and Ms. Dugan with the state to be able to get a trial date if we wanted to do that. But I don't know if we need additional time.
Ms. Dugan advises she has a court date October 15th, so that would be my suggestion.
10:15 at 2:30 will be the follow-up case management to today. Before we go into recess, I am going to conduct the in-camera hearing with Mr. Morris as to any remaining issue of who should conduct the cross-examination of Charles Adelson if called as a witness. If the court reporter can meet me in the jury room, Mr. Morris, please as well.
And there you have it. Donna Sue Adelson is not going to go to trial today. The jurors, potential jurors, are there at the courthouse ready to be selected. But this all boils down to a conflict of interest because she hired the same attorney that her son hired before in the case that he lost last year. And now Charlie Adelson is saying, I never signed a waiver saying that this was okay and you can't cross-examine me when I'm on the stand. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Marie Pereira. Marie, why today? Why did we wait until this moment after we transported all of these inmates to testify against her to decide this is a bad idea?
Exactly. Oh, let me get rid of the, thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. I love everybody's input. And I'll skip this.
This was foreseeable from day one. This conflict, and I'll say it again, conflict. So I don't know why the judge didn't shut it down from day one to make sure all the documents that needed to be signed were signed and all the pre-trial hearings concerning this conflict were dealt with. Because now I'm mad because I was really looking forward to seeing Donna be on trial. The jurors are there. This is a situation that could have been handled. And the only person, like I said, I feel should have been on top of it was the judge. How did he let something like this happen? Because it was foreseeable. Come on. The moment I heard same attorney, I was like, how is that going to happen? Look at this now.
But he was very concerned about it.
He was. He asked the parties, are you okay with this? And they said yes.
Until they didn't. And of course, they're going to pull this out at the end of the, Judge is back on the bench. Let's go back in.
Mrs. Adelson, depending if you choose to hire additional counsel or just reset the trial date, you'll certainly be able to work with Mr. Morris as your attorney in making that decision. But the trial is going to be continued from today. The jurors will be released this afternoon. Again, as to the inconvenience and delay that this has caused, I'm not happy, but at the same time, we're trying to get this right so we do not have to do it a second time. I will speak with the parties again when we have the next case management hearing. We are in recess. Yeah.
All right, buttoning it up there, Judge Everett. He has such a unique voice and demeanor. He really is, as you said, unflappable.
Calm demeanor throughout the trial, but you don't mess up inside of that courtroom. I experienced that when being there.
And he's upset. In fact, he's saying this is on the defense, and at the end of the day, if the state pursues it, they could be on the hook financially. Marie, picking up where we left off there, where it was foreseeable, the defense indicated that this was no problem, repeatedly, but what should the judge have done? Just said, you're not doing this from the beginning, that this is too much of a conflict. It's coming back because we know your client, if she loses, is going to appeal, and let's get this off the table. Is that what you're saying, that this never should have been entertained?
Not that it shouldn't be entertained, because if all the parties are on board, if Charlie's okay with it and there was a waiver, maybe the judge, before picking the jury, should have said, let's visit this waiver thing again. Do you guys have a new waiver? Maybe he should have insisted on a new waiver being signed, because apparently there's an old dusty one. And then Charlie is now saying, well, I signed it before, but I'm not with it. That's what's happening here. So maybe he should have been more on top of the waiver situation, knowing that, this could be a big conflict. Even if you weren't an attorney, all our court TV, watchers were like, wow, same attorney? I think the judge could have handled it better, because he should have been in charge of tracking the waiver and maybe insisted on bringing him in, and maybe even having a pretrial hearing with him only and him being admonished. When I say him, Charlie, bring him in from prison and say, did you, this is what's happening. Did you sign the waiver? Are you still on board, to avoid this happening right now? But I think Charlie planned that. And he's a
I
con,
agree.
creating
He
a
did that.
conflict. That's what this is.
I think you're on point about the possibility that they could have brought in the inmate, at least via video conference. We see that sometimes, but I do think Judge Everett very much wanted to make sure Donna Adelson was aware of this conflict. And in fact, let's go back to this morning. This is what we've seen Judge Everett do for the last 11 months with Donna Adelson when it comes to having this same attorney as her son. Take a listen.
I believe we've done this twice before, but given the circumstance and what has now arisen, it is prudent to do it once again. Do you understand that you have the right to conflict-free counsel?
I understand.
Meaning specifically as it relates to Mr. Rauschbaum or any other conflict that may be imputed to Mr. Morris or any other third party. Do you understand that your attorney has to be able to properly cross-examine your son if he is called as a witness?
Yes.
Do you understand how this conflict affects the cross-examination potentially or your overall defense strategy?
Yes.
Have you been able to speak with a conflict-free attorney in making the decision as to whether you wish to waive any conflict on this matter?
Judge, the short answer is going to be no, beyond having spoken with me at the inception of my representation.
Would you like to speak with conflict-free counsel concerning this issue?
Yes.
Very well. Before we finish the colloquy on this matter, then, we will go into recess. The defendant will have an opportunity to consult with conflict-free counsel. We'll resume this afternoon.
So, Marie, what do you think it is? Because the Adelsons have financial resources to hire other attorneys. Everyone thought, as you mentioned, this was a bad idea because it limits what her defense can be. Daniel Rauschbaum, he's a great attorney. I watched him represent Charlie zealously. It was an unwinnable case, but he represented him very well. But even being a great attorney in a case that was lost, why wouldn't she just want a new attorney from the beginning? I mean, there's an attachment there that this family has to someone who's been representing them since, I think, 2016, even before they were charged.
Maybe she just felt more comfortable with him, or maybe it is something that they strategized to cause some type of delay. I don't know. You don't know with this family, but they're sneaky, and there might be some nefarious reason. But watching the allocution of the defendant by the judge concerning the conflict, they should have done like you said. Zoomed Charlie in and given him the same opportunity to speak on the possible conflicts. And was he okay with attorney-client privilege? Especially, he still has those same people representing him for the appeal. The conflict was there. This was foreseeable. It was avoidable. And I don't know how the judge let it go that far without shutting it down, because like you guys said, he seems very assertive. He's on top of it. He's not here for it, but he really dropped the ball because he's the only one who could have shut it down from the beginning, tracked it, and then just avoided the delay today.
Yeah. There's something about this family. It's just
One
par for
thing
the course.
after another.
Yeah.
But the breaking news is no Donna Adelson trial yet, and we don't have a new trial date yet.
No, we'll be back in court October 15th, and at that point, set a new trial date, but it will be pushed considerably because Mr. Rauschbaum now off of the case.
Yeah.
I am a primary
Absolutely.
care physician. I'm frustrated, and it is just not what I signed up for. I'm tired.
The next member of the Adelson family is getting ready to face a jury this week. The trial for Donna Adelson, the mother.
Okay, so there we are. There we are. I know my opinions can be a little bit out there, to say the least. And I really do want to put this off the camera here in a second. I know my opinions can be off the record, just really weird. But he is playing the system. I agree with that. Yes, yes. And he saw an opportunity to make a lot of money, overplayed his cards. I still think he overplayed his cards, saw an opportunity where, hey, I'm going to cash in. I know Charlie will go for this waiver. I think Patty's Playhouse is right. And he gambled with it. And then at the 11th hour, this all happened. Now we see the whole thing just crumbles down. You see Donna Adelson crying in front of everybody. Crocodile tears, maybe. I don't know. A mother crying because her son is turning on her. I don't know. See, there's just so much speculation out there that it's hard to really say. And absolutely, the more I think about that, the more I realize that he was cashing in on the Adelson's money. And I don't know. Well, you know what? I really do believe that too. I mean, okay, I'm going to look at this as a human perspective, okay? Being human. Here you are, you have your son, you gave birth to him, you saw him in the cradle, you saw him grow up, and now all of this happens. That has to be a little bit overwhelming in my opinion. But I don't know. Like I said, my opinions can be a little bit off the rocket. So, I don't know. I guess moving forward, more to be revealed. What are your thoughts? Who's ever in here? Thank you very much, Claudia, for joining me. I really appreciate it. And gosh, I really do. And I really love to hear people's opinions. And with my channel, I have a philosophy. We're all going to agree to disagree because we're all not going to agree with everyone's opinion or what they see. Yeah. And if you don't agree with me, hey, that's fine. I would love to hear why you don't. Okay, I don't think he was crashing in. I think he could have backed out and being the attorney because he's so dirty with their money stuff. He didn't understand he was not prepared. Right. Yeah, I'm going to handle another case. I'm kind of thinking about it. Yeah, well, thank you so much. I really enjoy it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background. Okay, I graduated from the University of Nebraska as a trained journalist. And when I started to follow trials, I decided it would be fun to cover trials on a journalist view, which means I do not want to go in and say they're guilty or innocent right away. I just want to get the facts and talk about it and hear other people's opinion. I love hearing other people's opinion. And I also like a little good debate because I did take some debate in college and I enjoyed it. And yeah, I really do. And that's what I'm all about. And well, thank you. Now, I don't know about the Sarah Boone's case. It's interesting. I'm a little disappointed she's not going to defend herself, to be honest. What a great content that would be. But hey, we'll wait and see. That's all we can do, right? I don't know. I really don't know. Do you have any thoughts, Claudia? Mommy, what do you think? Who's ever in here, give me an idea what you would like to hear, because this is your channel as well as mine. And I really enjoy covering cases. Right now, I think the Donna Adelson case is just going to be on the back burner for a little bit. I think it's overtalked. Yeah, it frustrates me too. And it's too crazy for me. It's going to be out there, so many. And I just feel like there's other cases out there that deserves attention. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of covering Sarah Boone unless she was defending herself, and I'm sorry, but yeah, and she frustrates me, and I don't know. Right, and I saw the video where he was begging for life, and it was just freaky. It was just really freaky. Scott Peterson. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, okay. I don't know too much about the case, but we can dive in and we can probe in and see what's going on, and maybe some. I would love for my audience also to just if we're gonna dive into a case and I don't know too much about it, hey, let's all research it. I really do. I'm going to be really honest with you with the DNA, with the Scott Peterson case. I'm not really familiar with it, but that would be interesting. So why don't we do this? Why don't we dive into the Scott Peterson case, and I will put some videos up, and we can all watch it. And I love DNA evidence. That is one of my favorite things about court is DNA. I think DNA is so interesting, and how they come up with the different studies they have, and how they match, how they don't match, and how it can all be related. It's just an interesting science. Gosh, I mean, to think about it, DNA hasn't really been around that long. Because I'm going to show my age. Because when I was younger, it's just we didn't have that fancy DNA. You know what? No, I haven't. Sounds interesting. Maybe I should see if she has any auto tapes out there, because while I'm sewing and crocheting, I think that would be interesting. You know what? Hey, does anybody have time? Does anybody have time? We can just maybe listen to Scott Peterson. Maybe we can find a little introduction of his case. How's that? Maybe his interview. I would love to do a true crime book club. Yes. You know what? Let me write that down. It would be fun, wouldn't it? Yes, because you know what? I have done that in the past, and it's really interesting how it has to be a good reader, though. Because some people read really well out loud. Me? Well, I don't know. Not so much. Okay, green. I'm writing this down. River. Running. Red. And Anne Rules? Is that her book? The author. Okay. That might be a good thing for me to read, just to get my inspiration to put together my notes. Because I think it'd be fun to write trials of everything that I've seen, and just Yeah, it's sad. Okay, I am going to do this. I am going to put a documentary with the Lacey Peterson. Okay, now I'm not sure if I'm gonna see if I can find something alive. Okay, is she an easy read? Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, after I graduated from college, to be honest, reading has just been, I don't know, it's just I've had so much in my life, and it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, can I just sit here and read this? Oh, she worked on Ted Bundy. Oh my gosh. Oh, cool. That'll be an interesting book, wouldn't it? To read. I love audiobooks. I really do. And I do, especially when somebody tells us. I love people reading to me. I don't know why. I just do. Okay, I'm going to find something on Live Court TV because they don't mind us doing this online. And yeah. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to share this a little bit. Oh, cool. We got that in common.
Attorney Vasquez, District Attorney's Office, Stanislaus County. Good morning. Libby Flatiger, District Attorney's Office, Stanislaus County.
Okay, this is just a little review of Scott Peterson because I'm not really familiar with it.
Thank you. Good morning. And Mr. Peterson is present by Zoom. Mr. Peterson, can you both see and hear the proceedings?
Yeah, me too.
Yes, I can. Thank you, Your Honor.
And do we have your consent to appear by Zoom this morning?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We are on this morning for the defense motion to seal. The motion to seal was directed at a single exhibit that was attached to the motion under Penal Code Section 1054.9, as well as the people's opposition to that motion to seal and the reply that was filed on behalf of Mr. Peterson. I'm prepared to hear argument if all parties are ready to proceed. This was the defense motion. Ms. Mitchell, I will hear from the defense first.
Thank you, Your Honor. The motion to seal that's before the court is pretty straightforward and simple. Mr. Peterson is seeking to keep private certain witness information that was obtained from police reports for all of the reasons stated in our pleadings. So unless the court has any questions for us, we're prepared to submit on our pleadings, and we would respectfully ask for an opportunity to respond to any arguments the prosecution may raise today.
Okay, that's fine. You'll get an opportunity to reply. I guess the question that I have is every version of the exhibit, the one that was attached to your motion to seal and the one that was attached to the 1054.9 motion that is the target of the motion to seal, were filed with the court redacted. What is it exactly that you're seeking the court to seal, since everything that is in the record already has the redactions that you're looking for?
We're just asking for those redactions to be kept in place so that that information is not made public.
Okay, thank you. Comments by the people?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll be brief. First, there was some debate on our end as to what was actually being requested by the defense in their motion to seal. Was it to file under seal solely that November 14th letter requesting post-trial discovery that they sent to our office, or were they looking to seal more? So we had some debate amongst ourselves. And the reason for that is the language in their motion makes it unclear what they're asking for exactly, because on page 4, line 21, they write, defendant Scott Peterson is asking this court for permission to file certain information under seal and a redacted exhibit that is public facing in support of its motion for post-conviction discovery. The motion further states the redactions cover personal identifiers of witnesses, potential suspects, individuals with knowledge of potential suspects, and other sensitive information related to counsel's investigation. This seems to suggest more than just the November 14th letter, since both the motions and the multitude of exhibits attached to both motions contain.
Okay, I saw something on CNN as a timeline. I'm not sure if I can post it for copyright violations, but it's interesting. Boy, is there a timeline. Huh. There's a lot to dig in. Wow. Are you talking about the Scott Peterson case? I'm sorry. But I'm not sure if I can do this because this is a good timeline. But the last thing on the timeline was the district attorney's office filed its opposition to motion from Scott Peterson's defense team for post-conviction DNA. I think that's what you were talking about, Claudia. A hearing on the matter was scheduled May 29th. Prosecutor said in a statement, and CNN reached out to Los Angeles Innocence Project for comment. Well, there's a lot to this. You live in Long Island? Really? I used to live in Long Island. Actually, I used to live in 3 places. One was Huntington, and I used to live in Point Lookout and Long Beach. Gosh. Wow. I love Long Island. Beautiful place. Okay, if you remember right, they did say he was in one place, but he was somewhere else. You know, I'm just going to have to listen to this while I crochet today because all right, I'm going to be busy for the next 3 or 4 days because I have a 2-day craft show. And I've never done a 2-day craft show. The time is different. Oh, you grew up and you live, okay, Mineola, okay. Yeah. Well, the kind of crafts I do is I sew Barbie doll clothes, and I sew gowns for and everything else, and then the crochet items I'm working on some pumpkins, so I can put it on my table this weekend. I'm in a art fair craft show, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Maybe someday I'll show and tell. And you know what? Woohoo! Had craft shows. Yay! Yeah. And if I remember right, I think I had a couple of crocheters. Mommy, do you crochet? I can't remember. I'm sorry. It's been a while. I think it'd be fun if we all just kind of even talk about that. Talk about craft shows and recipes that we want to try. And so yeah, I just been pretty busy with that lately. All right, so Mommy, what are you working on? Are you working on Halloween stuff? I'm working on pumpkins. Here, I'm gonna go on real quick to show you my cute little ghost. Mom, you like this? Oh, cute. Can you see my ghost? Here, let me cover my face. I worked on him last night. Yeah. Oh, build your own ice cream cone. Actually, I have made a few ice cream cones because I used to. Oh, thank you. I used to sew for American Girl dolls, and I crocheted ice cream cones for them. And then also I have witch hats for Barbie. Yeah, I'll have to, I don't know. Oh, what? Oh, cool. Oh. Yeah, that is a big night. Oh gosh, I just love talking to everybody online. It's just so much fun. And that's one thing about being a very small channel. You get to know people, and so yeah, I do. Oh, I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I'll show you since you're into this. Here's one of the hats, a witch hat for Barbie. Let me get a Barbie that's dressed. I can show you. Hey, she's, yeah. I did crochet a really cool, I got to dig for it, but I don't have it right here. You have some patterns for witch hats? Ooh. For adults? I should make myself one for Halloween. Well, what I was going to say is I have a crochet dress, and she is Miss Halloween. I got this idea on Pinterest, and she's just, yeah, one of these days I'll have to, you know what, next time I come on, I will show you Miss Halloween Barbie. The whole 9 yards. Tool, everything. Oh, cool. See, we can talk about other things besides trials. Well, oh yes, yes, prayer shawls. I love it. Actually, I did a research on Halloween years ago. We should do a little research. We should do a little documentary on Halloween here, because I told my husband, I said, it's not all just spooky. It's all, and the day after is a religious holiday, is All Saints Day. Yeah, prayer shawls. Prayer shawls are really handy when somebody is going through something really difficult in life. And then when you make a prayer shawl, you give that to them, and they know that they're loved and they're prayed for. It's just a really neat thing to give out to people. Ooh. Ooh. It's just so many interesting things out there, isn't it? I'm always open to ideas. So, with that being said, I have a very busy day ahead of me. I got to get those crochet things done, and I just wanted to come on and chat with everybody and to let everybody know that I haven't given up on all this. And next week, I'll be on again, and I just want to know, and I have 4 people in here, so let me know if you want me to cover, just to do research on Scott Peterson on here, because to be honest with you, I think Sarah Boone is overrated, and there's tons of people that are already doing it. There's a lot of people on the internet. I know. I wish I could too. And, the thing is, privacy laws are there for a reason. And, it's just, yeah, slap that like button. That really, I don't know how either. You can email me here. You know what? I don't mind email, and we can be friends through that. Yeah. Oh, you mean like listen to an audiobook together? Let's do things differently. Do we always have to cover these trials? Yeah. Let's think outside the box. So go ahead and feel free to email me, you guys. And if you have any ideas, email me. I would love to hear from all of you. Yeah, that would be really cool. But would it violate copyright laws? Okay, that's my main concern. I took copyright laws in college and classes, and I am a stickler with that. We'll have to research on that. Yes, the creative juices are going. All right, so last thoughts for the day. Yes, we can listen to O.J. Simpson. Hey, you know what? After watching a lot of trials for the last few years, I think that would be interesting. Why don't you go ahead and shoot me an email and let's see what we can do. You know, we can do things a little differently. We can talk about the different cases out there, and we can agree to disagree. I know I have some wild ideas out there when I have my own opinions, because every time I say that in somebody's chat room and nobody ever replies to me, because it's just probably too far out there. Just one thing, the woman romance writer killed her husband. Great trial to watch. She is wonderful on the stand. Really. Seriously, you guys, email me. I want to hear from you. We're a small community. I'm a little fish in a big pond, and I'm really okay with that. I relate to that. I'm so excited too. You know, I mean, the thing is, like, can't we think outside the box in how we view these trials? You know, give me your wild ideas with Adelson's. Give me your wild ideas with Scott Peterson. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, we should be able to just, look, here's my yard. We should be able to just agree to disagree, and not very many people do. So let's do that. All right, so I am going to sign off, and please email me, and I will come up with some game plan for the next time. I will be busy in the next 4 or 5 days with the show, and I am really excited. Yeah, Claudia, I'm in for that. I had tons of notes on all of these trials that I follow, because I thought writing a book would be interesting, and we all could just, what I was thinking about originally, oh, my nails I need done. But anyway, what I was thinking about originally was to read all my notes and all of my research things and come up with a really weird, bizarre book. Claudia, I'm glad. Maybe we all could do this. Everybody just puts in like, after we listen to a trial, yeah, we could say, oh, would this be an interesting character? We could just, like, instead of Charlie being a guy, it could be a female, or, yeah. Yeah, with the crazy ginger snaps. I sure miss that guy. John, if you're listening, we miss you. Well, you know, to write the book about the Adelsons is to come up with some nonfiction characters that are totally different from them, but with the same behavior and the same kind of plot that would be a little, so they can't say we were stealing their story. And to be honest with you, there's probably going to be a lot of people that are going to want to write that book. And I would write it, but I would write it in a total different way. I would have put the creative spin on all of them. Okay, yeah. Okay. What's the definition of this? I love your minds. All right, maybe I have to. Yeah, I mean, it would be fun. It'd be fun. Everybody would just kind of throw in. Well, sometimes when you write stories by hand, you get the full effect of your creativity. And I have written a lot of things by hand, like writing papers for college, even my articles for the newspaper for the university. And then I went to the computer, and then I would type my notes out and then just polish it from there. And I have wrote a book by hand, a complete novel that I threw away because it was too stupid. Oh, okay. Anti-technology. Oh. Okay. So anyway, we'll be in touch, everybody. This is a good time just to, yeah. So I'll see everybody next week. It's from the late 1800s. Yeah. I love the way you think, you guys. I really do. So anyway, let's keep in touch. Shoot me an email. And anyway, don't forget to hit that like button because it warms my heart. All right. So 1, 2, 3, out.